Hello and welcome to Channel Sport on Sunday. I tell you, what do we say? Compliments of the season of peace, the season of love, the season of oneness. When it is Christmas, when it is the Yuletide season, we all come together and said, yes, let peace reign. Because we're celebrating the birth of the Prince of Peace. And there is peace all over the world. And for 2020, I think as the year is phasing out, there is this sign of relief. First of all, the sign of survival that we are able to go through this year. And coming from the very first edition to the final edition of 2020, I think we say, yes, yes, we are here. And for those of you at home, today is going to be a very special day because, it's one of those days where we open the lines early. Let us know what your 2020 has been. Yes, in the sports world. Nobody can take that away because there is, like we say, just one. Normally, we talk about the highlights of the year. We talk about, your most, how do I say it? Your best and your worst sporting moments of 2020. But then, who can take that away? COVID changed everything. It was supposed to be COVID-19, which means 2019. But in 2020, that is when the devastation, that is when the impact, that is when all that, the coping to survive, happened. So in 2020, it started, the genesis was in 2019. But in 2020, we are not yet at the revelation. We are still on the way. We hope we will get there. We are here today, which means we will get there. We'll look at 2020. In spite of the COVID effect, there has been great impacts of what happened during this year. My guys, we are going to highlight a lot of those things in football, in boxing, in motorsports, in wrestling, but above all, you can't take this because the greatest sport festival in the world is the Olympics. And I tell you, 2020, it became a casualty. So if the Olympics can fall, if Tokyo 2020 is taking place in 2021, remember, it is still 2020, Tokyo 2020. They've not changed the name. It is still 2020. It means we have those shifted the world, by some months and pushed 2020 into 2021. And I mean, it is the positives that we have pushed and not the negatives. So we shall look at all this. Some of the highlights you can remember. Where do we start from? We saw a Tyson Fury and then a Wilder, a fight. We said yes, it was part 2. It did take place and a winner emerged, leaving just one unbeaten among them because our own Anthony Joshua did suffer that shock defeat. And then so that means that if we are considering who the best boxer of the year is, definitely it is tilting towards Tyson Fury. And then you move over to basketball. The Lakers came back after a decade. And I tell you, who did for them? It was LeBron James. And like Theo pointed out to me, some few minutes ago before we came on set, he said the last tweet of Kobe Bryant, yes, that is the negatives, was about King James overtaking him in the number of baskets that he has made. So in 2020, a lot did happen. Bayern did the clean sweep. Going through, I know Theo doesn't like this, but they went through that, and I tell you this, including that 8-2. He said I shouldn't mention it, and went on to beat everything that came their way. Liverpool, after 30 years in the wilderness, they came back to say, yes, our number 19 in the EPL is in the bag. And then one man, who needs height when your feet can do the job for you? 644 goals. 644 goals. The most goals by a player in a single club. He beat the Pelé record. And I tell you, 180 years. 180 goalkeepers when faced him and they chopped it. And I tell you, this happened from 80 teams. Who can take that away from Lionel Messi, a candidate for one of the greatest sportsmen of all time? So I tell you, it is the last day of the year. 2020 has its ups. It also has it down. We lost them. We lost Kobe, like you said. We lost Diego Armando Maradona. I tell you this, who can think about, even in Nigeria here, even as we speak, 24 hours ago, some of them are still going. Henrietta Ukegwe, I tell you this, she was a pioneer of the female football in Nigeria. Remember, the female football interest group. So we shall look at all this. We shall look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I tell you, we shall look at the beautiful of 2020. My guys are in the house. I don't know if from Old Trafford, I don't know, or if it's on loan to Tottenham. Yemi, you welcome to the show. Yemi back race, you know, it's on
Good afternoon, viewers. Good afternoon, Ken.
Yeah, Ole is still on the wheel.
For you. Good afternoon, viewers. Good afternoon, Ken. 2020, what a year.
What a year.
Looking back at January 1, 2020, like you said, this is the last show of this year. And I think it's really a time to reflect. Like you said, the good, the bad, the ugly. We've lost a lot of people in 2020 due to the pandemic. The figure is still rising. There is hope on the horizon as we go into 2021. But again, the authorities are still preaching caution for everybody, which I will also emphasize here. But for the sporting world, beautiful moment. It's a year where Anthony Joshua beat Kobran Pulev, and something we like. That's the fight after claiming his bout
from Louis,
and the
Otis, yes,
exactly. So it's a year where the NPFL still wants to give us something to cheer about. Yes, whether it's starting or not, we're going to know this afternoon. NPFL, that's why. So we can still call it the 2020-2021 season. Yes, a lot has happened. Like you said, Olympics gone. When I'm not a lawyer, but the concept of force majeure,
yes,
it really came to play more in 2020. You see a lot of contract, a lot of things being postponed. It's even taking us in 2021. FIFA postponing the other 20 and the other 17 May World Cup. Yes, you are allocating it to India and Peru. So somebody said that 2020 just had 5 months in it. January, February, lockdown, NSAS, and December. And I think I want to agree with them. But
that is from a Nigerian perspective.
From a Nigerian perspective. So, but on a lighter note, I think we should all thank God that we're alive.
Exactly.
And for those that have passed on to the great beyond, may the good Lord rest their soul and give their family the fortitude to bear the loss. We've lost great from in the international level, talking about Diego Armando Maradona, the man who scored that spectacular goal in the quarterfinal of the Mexico City World Cup against England. People call it, handball.
No,
he referred to it as hand of God.
Yes, he cheated.
The Italians, they lost their legend, Rossi, in December. So for us, you mentioned the Reta here. It's been topsy-turvy. But like we said, we have every cause to look back and still thank God that we are here and we're having the last show for the year.
Before I come to him here, you just mentioned Paulo Rossi. You understand? Paulo Rossi was born in 1956. Maradona was born 4 years later in 1960. Both of them died in 2020. Right. But go back. In 1986 was Maradona's year. 4 years earlier, 1982, was Paulo Rossi's year.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Just 4 years apart.
Remember, he is devastating goals against the most brilliant Brazilian team that never won the World Cup. You understand? And so sometimes you'll ask yourself, nature, is there a script writer somewhere?
Those things.
Who does these things?
Exactly.
You don't
it looks like a coincidence, but
again, 4 years on, 4 years before, at the same time, and then the whole thing comes and says, okay, after 4 years, we are going to meet somewhere, and they met at 2020. But then after impacting the world at same age, you understand?
One died November 25 and the other December.
Yes, I tell you this. So it is there. Okay, let's come to the Catalan. Theo, you're welcome to the show. And it is a year.
I didn't mention Bayern Barcelona.
I think it is unfair to talk about the 8-2. I really,
and that's why I didn't mention it.
I don't want to mention it. I know it. Theo, it's like they say some clubs are happy that their leagues are on break. You understand? Like some clubs in Spain, I mean, some in England got resurrected yesterday, and then in Germany some people are still biting their teeth and stuff like that. The NPFL, yes, guys, the NPFL is starting today. But some of the key matches won't take place today. So I'm being told that some of those 3 matches will not take place today. The 2 derbies, the Abia derby between Enyimba and Abia Warriors, and also the Dakaba versus derby will not be taking place today, but the other matches will take place today. One other one, the international derby, the teams from international club, Rivers Rangers also, I'm being told, also is pushed forward. We'll confirm all that. But we shall get the fixtures and give you so that at the city or the center closest to you, the match venue closest to you, go and support your team. Of course, we know that the COVID-19 protocol say we shouldn't gather. Maybe in a stadium that will take about 15,000. That we're talking about even the EPL team. We're talking about the spacing. Yeah. You don't just say 20,000. Yeah. If a stadium can take 70,000, 67 to 80,000, and that can take 35,000. While located to 2,000, maybe just take about maybe 10% or 5% of the stadium, so that they can sit about 2 or 3 seats apart, so that they can maintain this social distancing. So basically, the NPFL will start today, but I know it's not starting from there. Till 2020, your highlights. Nadal did equal. Yes. There were two records that were equal. Nadal equaled Roger Federer's record, and Lewis Hamilton also equaled the great Michael Schumacher's record. Yeah. It was a year. What I would like, I think they did find time to push those things. And then, because
Lionel Messi equaled.
Okay, Lionel Messi also equaled and surpassed Pelé.
Well, good afternoon, yes, it's good to be on the program again. Well, I'll start with the bad. Kobe Bryant. We talked about his last tweet.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, on that day, we were on the show, like on a Sunday like this, and we talked about that tweet where LeBron James had just surpassed him for 33,644 points in a Lakers jersey. And like you said, over a decade since the last time the Lakers won a championship, only for Kobe to pass on that day. And, the LA Lakers went on to win the championship. LeBron James leading them on to glory. We saw the whole world come out. And again, it seems so far away right now. Like it's surprising that it still happened this year.
Yeah.
We have to show you all the troubles it had to overcome. It's about LeBron James led the LA Lakers to their championship. Even with the COVID-19 restriction and everything, he was able to perform well, and of course he got that. And then we come to Bayern Munich in the Champions League. I have to say, even though it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Bayern went on to win the Champions League. The first team.
Heartbreaking to who?
Barcelona and every other team they faced.
We thought it was something beautiful.
Let's not dwell on it, please.
No, you said it. No, I'm sorry.
It was heartbreaking to Barcelona.
You.
Yes,
no, but you said, I would like, because our guy, people are watching, and somebody will still call you on this show. You understand?
Sure. I'm expecting that call. Bayern becoming the first team to win the Champions League, going unbeaten in the season, demolishing FC Barcelona 8-2 in that semi-final game. 4-1 in the first half, 1 in the second half. I saw that game, and in fact, tears nearly came down my eyes. But I think that set into motion a lot of things that happened at Barcelona this season. Lionel Messi now saying he wanted to leave, and then the board of directors being pushed out after a vote of no confidence was passed. Bartomeu and his board resigning and all of that. But then again, we're still looking at the positives. Lionel Messi going on to equal and surpass Pelé's record that has stood since 1974, scoring 644 goals. Now, what makes it unique is the fact that he did it over 20 years for one team. Gary Lineker said something on Twitter. He said you will have to score 44 goals every year for 15 seasons if you are to equal that record. It shows you how consistent and at the top of the game Lionel Messi has been. Easily one of the greatest, if not the greatest player to ever do it. And then we saw a company send out beers to 160 goalkeepers, not 180, 160 goalkeepers across 80 clubs. Diego Alves, chief among them, getting the highest number, 21 bottles of beer. And Ike Casillas taking 17 bottles. But basically, all these goalkeepers, like Buffon, coming out and saying, Oblak, it's actually a pleasure to face Lionel Messi. And the fact that he keeps them at the top of their game. Anytime they come up against him, they concede goals, yes, but they do their best to keep him at bay. So I think that's another positive we'll look at. Looking at Rafael Nadal as well, equaling Roger Federer. I know on this show some people are pro Federer, some people are pro Nadal, but Nadal just showed that as far as clay is concerned, he is the undisputed king of clay, winning that championship 11 times. I don't think we would see anybody this dominant again, because the way he goes about it, more or less like poetry in motion. Rafa Nadal blame the whole world.
And I don't mean to interrupt you. One of the lows for me for this year was at the Flushing Meadows for Djokovic. He was chasing number 18. And with Nadal and Federer absent.
Yeah.
We all thought, yes,
he was
going to be home and dry. And I'm proud to that particular incident. He had not even
lost at all.
Yes, it was on a cruise.
He was on a cruise only
control.
for his emotion to get the better of him, and he hit the ball against a large man in the neck.
But looking at the level of consistency Novak Djokovic currently is carrying at the moment, one is going to say that he's bound to equal, if not surpass, Federer and Nadal.
But look at what happened afterwards at Roland Garros.
Okay, the whole situation. Okay.
So look at what happened after Roland Garros.
Yeah.
He felt he could make amends.
Yeah.
He came in there, got into the final, but Rafael Nadal practically bulldozed his way into the final, and the final was like a no match.
I think the tweet is back.
Okay. Yeah, I said the whole situation has left me really sad and empty. I checked on the Lions person, and the tournament told me that thank God she's feeling okay. I'm extremely sorry to have caused her such stress, so unintended. So I think that will continue. But then again, that was he coming out to say that
that was an opportunity to go for number 18.
Number 18.
And like Yemi is saying, it would have been 2019, 18.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly. I mean, at that time.
That sequence, it would have been sequential.
Coming
from Federer 20, Nadal 19.
And these are guys that have been at the top of their game for so long that even the younger ones coming up, I found it very difficult to dislodge them. That's why when Dominic Thiem won that. Oh my God. He kind of blew the whole sporting world.
Normally we say this thing. Nigerians have a lot of saying. They say, if one man will not spoil, another man will go better. You understand?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like where one man.
You just have to keep your head.
Yeah.
And that's really a learning curve for him. He still got a lot to look ahead into. Age is still, yes.
And exactly, if you're looking at Federer and Nadal's age, you tell me that
yes,
Djokovic has a lot of time.
To actually go on. But the young talks, they are not smiling. It's very
absolutely, no doubt about that. But have they been consistent?
No.
I would say no.
Finally, Dominic Thiem, after losing 3,
we felt 2020 was going to be their year. I know it's been, how do I put it? It's giving us a lot to take in. And people have responded to it or reacted to it in different ways. Yeah. But I think for these top 3 guys, I think for me, they have been fantastic. You will need a lot to dislodge them.
Very too much.
But these guys are moving on. I tell you, that is well. Okay, let us come back from the beginning.
Another record breaker. You mentioned it earlier. Lewis Hamilton. When Schumacher bowed out of Formula 1, we felt nobody was going to be able to match that record. That record was untouchable. But look at us this year. 35-year-old with Hamilton equaling that record and surpassing it. And it's not slowing down. A lot of people have said, thanks to the fantastic car. That's talking about the Mercedes. But we've always said it. Formula 1 is about man and machine. We've seen drivers who have also driven that particular... At
any point in time, there are always 2 drivers driving for
exactly
for a particular team. Recall that 2 seasons ago, it's unfortunate Jimmy is in here. Jimmy tagged Formula V.
Yes.
But where is Ferrari? Nowhere to be found.
In fact, he was even in Red Bull then, before he now moved to Ferrari. In Ferrari, the record was kind of dismal. He just got, I think... 16 wins in over 141 or so races. I saw that record during the week, and I said, "Wow, it wasn't okay for Vettel."
Good news for Mercedes. Toto Wolff has extended his contract to remain as the team principal again.
And there is also, I think there is a hint on, from what Hamilton tweeted that he has, he's signing. Yes, that is signing another. He's extending his contract.
There were talks that
yes, that's what I said. He's extending his contract.
Not just Toto Wolff.
Even
Hamilton.
Yes. If you were in his shoes, would you have done otherwise?
Just like Lionel Messi is not leaving Barcelona, you want to leave the winning team.
But like we said, he's among the few who has won it. I mean, he first won his own championship with McLaren.
He's trying to compare his situation to that of Messi and Barcelona. Barcelona is no longer a winning team. No shades in moving on.
Anyway, the truth is that unfortunately, Theo cannot shade you because you are on loan.
Currently don't even know where he is right now.
And for you, you're in and out. Ole is on the wheel.
Yeah, it's on the wheel. Ole is on the wheel.
He has unshackle the boy. Topsy-turvy.
Okay, so let us see the fixtures for today, the opening day for the NPFL. We say NPFL in our league. And then coming this far, this is where we are. Finally, 27th of December is on us, and the league is starting today. Rivers United taking on Rangers International. Those are the two teams who are playing in, at the continent.
That's been postponed. It's not happening today.
Continental representatives.
Adama
we have Adama United.
Adama will take on Kano Pillars.
Okay.
That's surely happening.
Yeah.
That's Katsina United will play host to Atlant FC. Nasarawa United will host Wiki Tourist. Wakwara United will be the guest of Plateau United.
Okay.
For other fixtures, Aqua United will host Dakada FC. Sunshine will be traveling from Akure to play against Jigawa Golden Stars. FC Fan Yoruba will play host to Lobby Stars.
And if you're in Lagos...
If you're in Lagos, yes, MFM will play host to Warri Wolves. That promises to be
a cracker.
At
the Agege
Stadium, which has been approved. Yeah. And Eyimba International, I think that's a game that's also...
That's supposed to be a local derby.
A local derby, Eyimba versus
Abia Warriors. And we've been told it has been shifted for maybe 24 hours or so. But we shall confirm that and let you guys know.
But those are the fixtures. So Ken, you see, a lot has happened in the NPFL, and it's the beginning of another new season. We're going to say, I was expecting that this will be used as an opportunity to put a lot of things in place, aligning the calendar with that of at least a major league.
Yeah.
You see countries in Africa aligning their calendar to leagues in Europe so that there is no distortion. But we can excuse them. The pandemic has not helped matters in 2020. But I think we should put our house in order a lot. And again, a lot of focus should be on the welfare of those, the main actors, the dramatic personnel, talking about the players themselves, given the fact that, especially as it concerns health, look, we had a lot of incidences earlier on in the year, last year, in previous years. We've seen the situation where ambulance that was deployed to match a venue, when it came to a time where it was needed, the ambulance wasn't working. In fact,
we have to wait the personal ambulance of the governor.
Of the governor that was used. So I think, you see, let's get the basic things right. And what am I talking about here? Security and the health personnel and equipment needed, because this is about lives.
Let us bring in Theo in this and yourself. Let us take these few minutes before we go on break. I think, to me, I was reflecting on the league this morning when I was in the shower. You know, sometimes when you are alone, you get to think. And I was looking at how can we make this league better? And it is like the league has been a situation between, to me, what I've seen in the past how many years, we and them. Those who run the league is like a different body from those who own the clubs. It's like, we are going to sanction you, you must do this, you must do, you understand? You are going to pay, they come up with a fiat, a 150,000 naira minimum wage. Now, I ask myself, it's supposed to be income and expenditure, not expenditure and income. Have you sat down with the clubs, first of all, to look at their sources of revenue, to look at how they can make money better, to look at how, you are talking about all the face of administration. What will make a club? We remember the case of FC Giwa.
Yeah.
Last week, we've been talking about Osun United and Osun Babes. And we're saying because the cost of living in the rural area is not the same thing as the cost of living here. So a man can earn so and survive in Osun and not survive in Lagos. So a lot of things you take the cost of living, take everything into consideration before you now start giving fiat. Anywhere there's in management that is good, it's supposed to be bottom up and not top down. You see, so you need these persons first and foremost. Each person's case is peculiar. And then the money you want to talk is coming from government.
And that's where I'm going. So looking at the 20 teams.
Yes.
I think it's
FC Fanyoba,
MFM, Dakada FC.
Dakada even still have some sponsorship from the government.
So basically, we're looking at just 2 out of 20 clubs that are not government-owned. And you see what is happening across the state. States are not even able to pay the regular civil servants the minimum wage. So running a club is becoming a burden on the states.
On the government
so
itself,
you see, this conversation needs to come down to the basics to say, if we do we really need this? And if we're going to do it, how can we do it right? Because a lot of people see free money here. And that's why some administrators who don't have an interest of the game at that, they just latch onto it. Because it's just free money. You're talking about income and expenditure. Do they ever give account?
You mean,
First of all, you give account. And that's what I'm saying. So, and the state that they are depending on, the sources of income is depleting and it's going down. Day in, day out.
The sources is depleting. It is NPFL. That P stands for professionalism. And then if you are really a professional, you're talking about a profit-oriented. When we come back, the lines will be open. We shall discuss 2020, and then we'll look at the NPFL in particular. Stay with us. It is Channel Sport on Sunday. Okay, you will come back. It is the Channel Sport on Sunday, and the lines are open. It is the season, so you guys can speak with us. Tell us everything you know about 2020 sports. And then probably, because even next week, I still go to do it when we come into 2021, God willing, we'll look at our expectations for 2021. But for now, let's do a review of 2020. Let's 2021 rest. We'll be there by His grace. Let's look at those things that we expect. The things that touched us most. The achievement. It is still a sporting year, so we want to get that done. So before we went on break, we also told you about that. FIFA made a few decisions in the past 24, 48 hours. And after the last World Cup in France, the Women World Cup in France, they said, look, we are increasing the World Cup also for female to 32 teams. And in that, some slots were given, direct slots. 29 direct slots were, has been shared out to each of the various confederations. Like CAF, our own, has 4. Which is see if we have that. If we can have that sheet. Okay, let's go to Ogun State. Who do we have? ID.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Yes. It's a pleasure watching you from my village.
Pleasure is ours too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wanted to comment on this NPL something.
Yeah.
Just like we said, the NPL League is about professionalism.
Yeah.
And have we come to think about it that the law, the regulation, laws backing it and all those things, are they in place? So these are the issues. Each by the states that are major owners of these clubs, are they doing what they need to do? Then in terms of even journalists, we should not stop directing and drawing the attention of every one of them to this anomaly. It has been with us for a long time, and there is no way we can just gloss over it. These are the simple reasons. These are why and how that the league is not picking up as we expected. That's my contribution. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ido. Okay, we'll come to that. Because he just talked about what that the state's doing that. But like we said, I think we should look at it holistically. What actually, like we said, that P in the NPFL stands for professionalism. If you are running a professional club, it's supposed to be profit-oriented.
Ken,
you understand?
The bottom line is that we're not serious. We still see sport as a tool of propaganda. Until we see it as... Ken, you see, why I'm pained is the fact that you're toying with some people's career.
Exactly.
And that is it.
What we should be doing.
People make a living of this.
People are trying to survive off this sport.
And people are surviving off this, feeding their families of this. And people are just toying with it.
Yes, we have said in the past 10, 15 years,
absolutely.
We're talking about the problems now. I think even from us here and for those who are calling, we should look at solution.com and you understand what is the way forward. What are we doing wrongly that we are supposed to put right in order for us to have that to get to that pedestal, which you say this is where we want to be. You understand? Like you said, government clubs and private clubs. Why is that? Why are the private clubs finding it difficult to survive? I gave an example of the FC, the Giwa FC. You understand? By the time they came in from the lower division, they were paying their players about 70,000, and the players were happy because if you look at how much the cost of living there and how, and then the NPFL just came in. just like the Lord of the Manor. And then from top, you just fear everybody. From now on, you must pay players 150,000. If you don't pay 150,000, like I said, no, there's no. You can even
Ruben.
Ruben, how are you?
Fine, Mr. Ken.
Yeah.
Good afternoon and good afternoon to your guest.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Ken, you are the umpire of this show. Yes.
Okay.
And an umpire is supposed to be at the middle of everything, not to be biased.
Am I biased?
No, you have not allowed me to land now. So what I'm going to say is this.
Okay.
And when you were doing your introduction, you talked about all the goodies of the past years. You talked about Messi's 664 goals. But I didn't hear you say Cristiano Ronaldo Golden Boot Award.
Ruben, you were the one that I called at that time. I said, you went to, this was happening to you. This was Ruben. When you just said the Arsenal thing that, were you the one?
No, Mr. Ken, I want to tell you something.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Arsenal, when I spoke last week, some people called me and said, they're Arsenal fans. I said, no,
exactly.
I didn't work for you. If Arsenal can beat Chelsea,
yes,
he did.
Yeah.
That shows that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Even though we will definitely go in 2021.
That's fine.
That's what it means. So,
you're perspiring to acquire. Ruben.
I want to ask something from you, whether you can confirm this for me. I heard one of these WWE stars is dead. Yes. Luke Harper. I don't know how true. I don't know how true is that.
I think he's confirming it. I'm hearing it for the first time.
Yeah, he passed yesterday. I think it was a lung-related disease. His wife confirmed it. Tributes have been pouring in. He actually left WWE a couple of years ago. I think he now wrestles with AEW. Wow. But yes, Luke Harper passed yesterday.
I think he was part of the Bray Wyatt group.
The Wyatt group.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, yes. Hello? Go on. You are still on. Ruben, don't cut.
Okay, finally, talking about our league.
Yes.
See, Mr. Ken, we talked about, there was a time I heard Dangote was going to buy Arsenal or was going to buy some big clubs in England. What is stopping some of our big shots owning Kano Pillars and owning other clubs and running it professionally like as it is run abroad? Let them come and sponsor. Let them have their own stadium. We should stop all this when other people praise their own, then we want to go there and inherit their own. Let us start our own from the grassroots and do it the way others are doing it outside, so that those of our kids that want to play international football can start here in Nigeria and go abroad, not the other way around. Now I heard we're now pursuing one under 17 German player and British player and stroke Nigeria wanting to play for Super Eagles again. I don't know when all this is going to stop, but I hope 2021 all these things will change and we'll start looking inward.
Thank you, Ruben.
Thank you. Arsenal fans, I'm sorry for my last week. You people are coming up.
Ruben, you don't owe them any apology.
Ruben, thank you. Merry Christmas.
He said they are coming
up.
Ruben, come down this season. Ruben mentioned something about Aliko Dangote. I think, one, it's not only him that said he wants to buy Arsenal. There's another Nigerian, Ojo Zokalo, the former governor of he says he also wants to buy Arsenal. I mean, he did say so. To me, there is nothing wrong in all that. Why do I say so? You put your money, like we're saying.
It's going to be profitable.
If you look at all the teams in England, even in the lower leagues, a lot of investment are coming in. What have they done? You understand? That is making people to go to there. Yes. There is Germany, there is Spain. Why is there more?
Liverpool are owned by Americans, Manchester United by Americans, Arsenal by Russians, Chelsea by Russians. Not even Brits.
So you go down to Watford, you go down to almost all the teams. In fact, Leicester, before they came up, the same thing. People pour money. They would not look at one English team and put their money.
The Saudi consortium was almost taking over Newcastle.
You understand? The Everton people and the rest of them all. So why can't we? You understand? Also look at that template. So probably if Dangote himself, I remember I think when they were doing this, I don't know, the cement, the BCC, I think he spent so much money. He pumped almost about 200 million or so in BCC. I'm privy to that. That is, he spent money on BBC as kind of his. Okay, let us go. We're in Lagos here.
Japheth.
Hello, Japheth. How are you? Hello, Japheth. Anyway,
I'm fine. Good afternoon.
I thought we were not going to hear you. People in Sapele and Ogun are getting through. If Lagos does not get through, oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Japheth. You are true to us. Go on.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Can you speak a little bit louder? I hope you are not waking up from sleep. Can you speak? Can you up your voice a little bit?
Hello, can you hear me?
Better. Go on. Yeah, hello. Fine. Go on, Japheth.
Hello.
Hello, you are true to us.
Yes.
Let's hear you.
Okay, happy holidays, Ken and everyone in the studio.
Yeah, same to you.
Same to you.
Yeah. Okay, so my contribution will be on the part of the NPFL framework.
Okay.
Will be on the part of the NPFL framework. And, just like Brad said, these people just come up with regulations without really sitting down with the club owners or those that are managing the club. We at least even know what it is their budget is. Like you mentioned, the example of Dua putting their players on 70,000 naira and all things like that. I mean, things will naturally go on well if you know the size of your pocket and you know what you are promising the players. Rather than saying, I'm going to pay you 150,000, and at the end of the day, you are not being able to meet up, the players are stranded, and for 6 months, they don't get paid. Now, with the system that you have done forward, if it has been encouraged, many more private individuals would have done the same thing and say, oh, rather than promise you 150,000 or all this huge money, let me give you 50,000 naira or 70,000 naira a month for you to be able to carry on with this thing. Now, we understand that before you can come up with regulations like this, probably you have to look at what is being done in other countries and then you try to bring it to your own country and then see how you can ratify it into your own system. Now, that is where our problem is. Ratification of these regulations is like a whole bulk of work on its own. Ratification means you need to really understand your own environment, your business environment. That is coming from England and is working for them in England doesn't mean you should come and dump everything on us in the same manner. No. Yeah. You bring it, study your environment. What are the problems in your environment? How are these problems related to the regulations we are bringing from England? Do we have to twist it a little to fit into our own community? Now, I understand too. In terms of infrastructure and facilities. Now, these things are not even there outrightly and want to run a professional league. Running a professional league where you have feeder teams, that are not having the right set of coaches, then running such a feeder team at the end of the day, you know that you're already mounting pressure even on the first team, because if you are calling on a feeder team that cannot meet up, at the end of the day, it's nothing. So they spend money in the wrong direction. They begin to start to see how they can get now it's more than 6 months. Asking for money, money coming
Okay. Java, we are losing you. Your voice is the volume is dropping. But at least we got the the point you are trying to make. Like you said, okay, you try to interact with these guys. You brainstorm together, and then before you take a decision that affects everybody. We want to go on another short break. We'll come back almost immediately. Stay with us. Okay, you're welcome back. The lines are still open, and then let's quickly take the FIFA gist that we're on. Why we still take your calls? They said, look, 32. The female World Cup will now have 32 teams come 2023, and then 29 of those slots. That is you see that those are okay. Where is that going? Okay, let's okay 6.
AFC.
Yeah,
that's
that's
Asia.
Yeah.
4 direct for CAF. That's
Africa.
Africa. 4 direct slots for CONCACAF. That's the Americas.
Yeah.
3 direct slots for CONMEBOL. That's South America. 1 direct for OFC.
Oceania.
That's Oceania.
Yeah.
And of course, UEFA, as usual,
Has
gets
11.
in 11,
Now,
more than every other person.
If you add this one, it gives you 29.
Yes.
Now, the rest 3 is going to come through a playoff.
Yeah.
Now, in that playoff will consist of 10 teams. Those 10 teams will have 4 seeded teams. They will be in 3 groups. You know, the other is it in that. These are the contributions from
AFC, 2 from CAF, 2
CAF,
from CONCACAF, 2 from CONMEBOL, 1 from OFC and UEFA each.
Okay, so you have 10 here. Now, out of these 10, they will put them into 3 groups. One group will contain 3 teams, 1 seeded team and 2 unseeded teams. Another one will contain 1 seeded team and 2 unseeded teams. And the one that has 4 teams will have 2 seeded teams and 2 unseeded teams. You understand? Now, in that one,
and this will emerge as best losers.
From the qualifiers.
Okay.
Now, in the first group, the 2 unseeded team will play themselves. The winner will now play the seeded team to get 1 qualifier.
Yeah.
In the other one, the same thing, 2 unseeded team will play themselves. The winner will play the seeded team. And then in the 4th one, the 2 unseeded team will play themselves, and the 2 seeded team will play themselves, and the winners will play themselves to bring the 3. So that is how from the other 10, from this 10 here, you now bring those 3 teams that will make up the 32 for the tournament. So Africa has 4 direct slots, while we have 2 playoffs. Asia has 6 direct slots and 2. Yemi, you were talking about how come Asia has more. But when you look at Asia, if you look at China,
and what they have done in
if you look
football,
at South Korea and North Korea,
15,
and then you now look at Japan that has won the World Cup and played in the final and played the Olympic final, you now ask yourself, where has Nigeria, the best team out of Africa? No, that is the thing. Okay, we are going to play to you. Abubakar, how are you? Yeah. Go on, Abubakar. Go on.
Hello, my name is Abubakar.
Yeah, Abubakar.
Yes, I would like to commend my coach, Abdullah Yimikawa, for the good work he's doing for our team, Plateau United. And I'm 100% sure that Plateau United will win the league based on the performance we see in the CAF competition.
What makes you 100% sure? The one you won is at a bridge. I did. You went to Africa and they trounced you. They beat you, man. So, what makes you so confident that Plateau United we win the league?
The problem comes from the NFF. Because if you can compare with the Simba have played 11-game matches. Hello.
Go. Okay. Go on.
Plateau United will start their league. So I'm very sure we will win the league.
Okay. I like that. I like fans optimistic that they are going to their team. I love this.
This is beyond optimism. This is self-confidence.
And he's saying Simba that they played against, and played 11 games, and Plateau is just starting their season, that they still put up a good show. And he's saying he's so confident that at least they will win the league.
We have an informed fan. You understand?
I'm impressed.
Yes. Look, he also knows the weakness that we're talking about. You were talking about all this external force majeure and stuff like that. That's what we're talking about, SWOT. You understand? Your strength, your weakness, your opportunity, and your threats. You understand? Your opportunity and your threats are, outside. Your strength and your weaknesses are within that you can control. The uncontrollable one are your opportunity and your threats. Opportunity comes out and the threats comes out and then there's nothing you can do about it. So if you can take control of your weaknesses and then strengthen your strength, that is where I'm strong. Then basically that is what that analysis has to do with the NPFL. Sit down and ask yourself, when people were watching Rangers, insurance stores, play, not even Mighty Jets, Raka Rovers, and the stadium was filled to the capacity, did they go to study any league anywhere in the world? No. This is a natural thing that we have in this country. How come it has now become difficult?
You see, you cannot separate football from the general thing that is happening. How do I put it?
Nollywood and music are thriving. So you don't the football is still the same entertainment industry. They are getting Grammy Awards, they are getting everything. What is wrong?
I'm not making excuses.
You okay,
and where I'm going to is this.
Come,
you
we're
see,
waiting for you.
Nollywood, I can, we have Ibrahim.
Okay.
Let's answer
Let's go to Ibrahim. All right, Ibrahim. Ibrahim, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
We are okay, we are enjoying ourselves.
Me too. I've been following your program, very, very interesting. And your laughter too.
Thank you very much.
It's bringing up our spirit for the weekend.
Wow, we love that.
Well done. Please, I still want to reiterate what Abakar said about Plateau United.
Yeah.
What he said is absolutely correct. It's a very solid team. Hello?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. The issue has to do with their early exit from the CAF competition.
Yes.
It has to do with preparation. You know, our league is down, not started, the team has not blended. And I was told that Simba Club has played almost 11 matches out of their league.
Matches,
so
yes, their league, yeah. Exactly.
So if you notice that Plateau was able to hold them to a goalless draw in Tanzania,
yes,
that shows that the team is good, except for the little problem they had in the first leg. Due to that preparation, our league was off. So I want to put the whole blame on NFF for not starting our league on time, so that our teams can be better prepared.
Ibrahim, you also right, it was beyond the NFF. At a point, the NFF were saying, okay, government have not given any.
We're waiting on the PTF.
For other years, we can actually blame them. They went AWOL, they went, how do I say it? They went partying when the roof was on fire. You know,
do we have the resources to keep the players in the bubble and keep running tests week in, week out?
Like Ibrahim is still there. Ibrahim, are you still there? No. Okay. Sorry.
You have to constantly run.
Ibrahim is still there.
Okay.
Hello, Ibrahim.
Yes,
are you still there?
Yes,
okay. Go on. I don't want. Go on. Just go on.
Hello.
Yeah, go on.
So actually, you see, but I don't know the other leagues. Tanzania has been playing their league.
Yeah.
So if maybe to follow the protocols, the NFF should have done that on time so that our teams can be better prepared. So I don't think even a Imba can cross this hurdle. 3-0 loss to El Maric. El Maric is a better prepared team. So it's a very, very going to be very big hurdle.
Rivers United, Uncle.
Rivers United might be able to do
something. We blew them away 2-0.
Especially when they start playing these North Africans. These North African teams are so strong.
I think they have a culture of football that is
it's almost unrivaled.
You see, we really bungled the whole thing. That is why our teams, we are knocked out at the early stages, and it's very, very unfortunate, quite frankly.
Oh, yes. Yeah, thank you very much.
Put our acts together, prepare very well, so that we can do. Most of these African teams are not better than our teams here, but because of poor preparation.
Yes.
So we always leave on time, we always start on time, which is very unfortunate.
Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you so much.
So, Ken, just to quickly finalize my point.
Yeah.
You said the entertainment, football is classified as entertainment, Nollywood, and
the
music industry.
And they are doing well.
You see, the difference between that is this.
Yes.
For you to blow, let me use that word, as an artist,
yes,
there are a lot of studio out there,
yes,
where people set up, you pay for sessions and keep practice as individual.
Yes.
You record and you put your stuff online. You see, even top companies organizing music
competitions.
And some artists come to life. Football is different. It's totally different. The government needs to put in the infrastructure. They need to create the enabling environment for it to thrive. You see, simple, as basic as security. The statute said that for a league match to hold, you need a minimum of 50 policemen.
Let's go on break. We'll come back. I tell you which was there before that they removed. We are going on break, and we expect to be part of this show. Stay with us. Okay, you're welcome back. We are actually on the last lap of the show. It is the season of love, the season of peace, the season of togetherness, and then the COVID, unfortunately, is still with us. So we just have to still observe the protocols. Are not too difficult for now. We're almost a year in this or more, so we should have gotten used to it. Of course, nobody gets used to discomforts, but we'll try as much as possible to do that. Wear your face mask as if possible when you are in close contact with others. Wash your hands with soap as frequently as possible, with soap and water, hand sanitizers, and then social distancing. Basically, those are the things that we are supposed to do in order to be alive. If you're not alive, you can't do any other thing. So the basic instinct, first and foremost, is survival, and that is what we are saying. We're going to have a great 2021, definitely. In sports, a lot of things, they pushed a lot of things from 2020 to 2021, a lot of world championships. So let's go to Abuja. Hello. Who do we have?
Idris.
Hello, Idris.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, Idris. How is Abuja?
Abuja is fine.
All right. Go on, Idris. Go on.
I should go on. Ken, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm having fun here with my guys. I know they don't like me. They hit me a lot.
I love your jacket.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Compliment of the season to you and your colleagues.
Same to you.
Same to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Adama.
Adama.
Adama of the Nigerian Football Federation.
Wow. Now you are introducing yourself.
well, what you see about it's quite unfortunate.
Yes.
That our league, since after 30 years of its establishment, we have not been able to achieve reasonable, development within the league. In the past, we have clubs like Abiola Babes, Iwanyanwu National, stationery stores, Bendel Insurance, ACB of Lagos, name them. Very competitive clubs. All this happened in Nigeria. But our league is bedeviled with a lot of problems. We need to invest huge investment, especially in administration. The administration of our league is very poor. There is the need for us to improve in getting professionals to run our football in this country. If it is not professionally run or managed, it will never attract private sector partnership or private sector participation. We also have the problem of officiating. Officiating is very poor in this country. And nothing or little has just been done in officiating. If we don't have quality officiating, definitely it can never attract investment. Quality of players. Where are the players? The grassroots development is as good as nothing is happening at our developmental program. We don't develop players. How do you get them into the league? And how do you get the quality players that is desirable for our league? Most of the clubs are owned by government. You are actually mixing politics with football. If clubs are owned by government, it's already politicized. You cannot do anything about that. It's either an APC government owning a club or PDP state owning a club. It is the PDP versus APC that we are seeing in the Nigerian League. And these clubs are financially weak. You get me? Another major issue in our league is security of our stadium. If you cannot provide adequate security for the games, it can never attract even spectators or fans. Your fans will not have confidence in coming to the stadium to watch a game. After watching the game, they are coming back with no wristwatch in their hands. Or they pack their cars, they come out, they don't see their car anymore. We also have poor facilities. Our facilities are needed to be upgraded. If we put all of this together and we are able to improve on all of this, we will produce a quality league that is investment attractive. Ken, thank you very much. And have a blessed Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And you too.
I want him to talk, but I want to say something before I want him to talk. We've just had Idris speak.
Idris Adama.
Idris Adama.
Someone that you know.
No. He summarized everything.
Yeah.
Which means our problem is not lack of knowledge or experience.
Definitely.
What is our problem? Jimmy, you're welcome to the show. What is our problem?
Basically, coming from Idris Adama, someone that should know, I think, to summarize, he's talked basically about administrative issues, talked about technical issues, talked about infrastructural issues, talked about operational issues.
Yes.
So if we do understand, have a perfect understanding of what the issues are, the question will now be the willpower to get the problem solved. Because at the end of the day, when you talk about, so much of politicization of our football, then you begin to ask yourself, whenever government will begin to think of, handing over the reins of football to the private sector so that we can ensure as much as possible. Yes, no one is saying that government should not have hands in sports, but there must be a long-term plan, a short-term plan to see that as much as possible, private sector-driven sports should be what we will be targeting. Because at the end of the day, look at what Idris Adama has said. He talked about, upgrade of facilities. You can say all you want, but at the end of the day, how many of our football clubs actually have, their own stadia? How many of them see the stadia as assets? How many of these football clubs have got medical facilities? You remember what happened with Martins Chinemed the other time and the hoopla around it. But it doesn't say that tomorrow we won't have such an issue. He talked about officiating. Before the start of this season, have we had the pre-season, orientation seminar that talks about match fixing, that talks about, medical, what they need to get done medically? Yes, I've seen the COVID-19 protocols, being passed around that clubs are told to adhere to as much as possible. But I think it goes beyond that. Before getting the season started, as much as possible, you need to engage the club so that everybody will be on the same page. Club licensing regulations. There had been no statement from the LMC stating clearly how clubs had been able to adhere to club licensing regulations, whether all the 20 clubs actually met with it, and whatever the LMC will be doing to ensure all through the season we're able to sustain whatever the gains had been before.
Let me stick with you. Since you just coming on the show. Last week we talked about stadium inspection. Before a match, they go to inspect stadium and approve. I think there is a document. I hope if we can have that. There is a document on the temporary approval given to certain stadia. Provisional approval. That is temporary. It's provisional because they say, okay, meet up to this. If you don't,
political.
Now, okay, these are okay. Look at it.
Aggregate Stadium.
Aggregate Stadium. Yeah.
Danayam Stadium. Owe. New Jos Stadium. Lafia Township Stadium. Ifeanyi Stadium. Akure Township. Then Delta State Polytechnic.
Good. Now I'm happy I'm seeing something like Delta State Polytechnic. Yeah. Because you watch school sport in America, and I tell you everything goes on there.
Definitely.
You play basketball there. You play
whether it be NCAA, whether it be soccer.
That is the thing. So you ask yourself, apart from Ifeanyi Stadium, you understand?
Yes.
Maybe it's a personally owned and developed.
Yeah.
The state of, I want to ask you this. Is it impossible, all of us have been espousing this for some time now, is it impossible for the state government, as part of handing over the clubs to individuals, give them the stadium, okay, we give you as an asset in the next 2-3 years. Yeah, you getting me? We'll use it to do whatever you want to do. What is impossible in all this?
I don't think it is impossible, but when you also consider the fact that there are always bureaucratic bottlenecks and other things attached to the stadium, apart from maybe club engagements and all that, they may not want to do that. So what that means is, as much as possible,
when they want to use it for political rally,
what happens? They can't go to the clubs. So those are the things I said.
Anytime they want to do political rally or whatever, they postpone any sporting activity at the stadium.
Exactly. So those are some of the shenanigans
even in our own Lagos.
Now, so to address the malfeasance, it's not going to happen immediately, but we must have concerted efforts.
And that's where the willpower comes to play.
Exactly.
And like Adama said, you see, the problem, you alluded to something. We've been, the league is like 30 years old.
30 years plus.
Yes. And
definitely.
We've been talking about these problems for how many years now?
One step forward, 30 steps backwards.
At the risk of sounding like a broken record.
Which we are. Which we are. Okay, before we go the lighter note, like we said, Lionel Messi just got 644 goals. I know my guys in the house here, they wouldn't like to talk much about that, but they have to talk about it. They don't have options. And yeah, a beer company says, look, for every goal Lionel Messi has scored against every goalkeeper, you have one bottle of beer, of specially packaged beer. They put your name, put your number.
Okay, we have Tunde from Lagos.
Tunde would like to talk about
Tunde would like to talk about it.
Tunde, how are you? Hello, Tunde.
Hello.
Yeah, how are you? Good afternoon.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine. How's it been?
Very fine. We are okay.
Yeah, you guys are looking...
Today fast. We have done, I know we're looking good. We have just 2 minutes.
For a very long time. I'm happy that I'm able to speak with
you.
Hey,
we're happy for you too.
Earlier caller said you have a nice suit. Your jacket is nice.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah. Let me also speak in line with the last speaker as regards we in this country. Honestly, sometimes when I look back and look at how sports, especially football, was run in this country, I look at it as how do we what do we we left a lot of things to get back. Left a lot of it to get back to where it is today. I remember clearly when I was in government, as a Surulere boy, Lagos boy, in Surulere there. I don't know if you know Government College Lagos. There is one.
Yes.
We used to have this fantastic field that ACB we come to train on that field. ACB, then I used to see the likes of Erin Wusu, once they have money, they will come there and train. These are few that the Lagos State government or maybe the local government will have, put in some effort to put in shape so that it will equally be serving, football, maybe training or clubs. Where am I going that we need to have sincere administrators at the heads of affairs to allow sports to thrive and grow in this country.
Sorry, Tunde just ran up. Tunde ran up, we have to go.
Okay, we don't have the other time. Yeah, we need to just encourage, private owners.
Private
who are
owners
equally interested in sports to bring in their money so that we can develop. We are doing a nice thing.
Thank you. I hope you get through again next week. Gentlemen, we're going home.
It's been a great show. It's the last one for the year. Happy New Year in advance.
Okay.
Well, we wish ourselves a better year in 2021, a better sporting year, really. We've gone through a lot throughout the course of 2020, and we can only hope for a better 2021. All
right. Don't mind. They said, well, they don't want to say it as we go. Yes, I will read it too. Yes, so Diego Alves will collect 21 bottles of beer. Ike Casillas will collect 17. I will tell you how many the clubs will collect next week from the boot of Lionel Messi. I'm Ken Ochonogo. Have the best of love, peace, and wherever in this season. This is Yule Tide. See you in 2021.